morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. Welcome to the sun is trying to shine today, Winnipeg. And it's 5.3 Celsius. It's going to be a little nicer day. Yes, all being well. I haven't checked the weather yet this morning, but when I checked it yesterday, they were predicting nice weather. And it seems to me a viewer commented and said, I'll save you time. It's going to be nice for the next few days. Or he said something like that. Anyway, all we have to do to get through step 14 is get that one little piddly little ladder fastened in between the two platforms on the side here. And then we're done step 14. I thought we'd be done yesterday, but I was just having too much trouble there trying to hold that ladder, and I kind of gave up. And I wanted to get out too, but not mistaken. I did get out yesterday afternoon. Yeah, a nice ride. These rides, they're all sort of blending in. I can't remember, unless something really unusual happens. I had to think, where did I go yesterday afternoon? Well, yeah, now I remember. I went to south down Henderson Highway and across the Redwood Bridge and north on Main Street, and I went through the Kildonan Park. It was kind of nice. It was cold. I think the temperature was only about 8 degrees, 9 degrees, and yet there were people out there in shorts jogging. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that video, but did you see that one place I came along and this person's got a little ugly little dog, not a cute little dog like Missy. It was an ugly, mean little dog, and it sort of lunged at me, and they had to yank it back. I don't know what the best way would be to handle a situation like that. I can see if a horse was to walk in front of you, you'd want to do something about it. Now, there was a goose that I had to go around. Maybe you saw that. But a small dog, I think you'd probably be best off, avoid it if you can, but you don't want to go out of control over it. One of the creators had an accident with his motorcycle about, I guess 3 years ago now, and he hit a cat, and down he went and scraped his arm, and sadly he has had another motor scooter accident, and he ended up having a heart attack, and he's died. Right? Well, you probably know who it is, most of you, or a lot of you. Yeah, Peter from Oz Scale Modeling. I still can't get over that. I just can't believe he's gone. Anyway, let's get on here today. See what we can do. I just realized I forgot something. Okay, we are ready for you-know-who. Yeah, now let's get on here. Okay, I've got this up in the air so that I can kind of go like this. I can rest my elbows on the table here. It reminds me of when I designed my model table. My model table is higher than an ordinary kitchen table by probably that much, so that it gets the work up close to me. But when I designed the table, I was thinking of way back around 1965. Now, I can't tell a story without really going all the way back. My dad was given an old pocket watch, and as best I remember, on the back of that pocket watch it said, "To Dad from Floyd," and then I believe the date was back in the 30s. It was engraved. It was a gold pocket watch. So my dad gave me that pocket watch, and pocket watches by that time were going out of style. And this would have been back in the early 60s, like 61, something like that. Anyway, I really liked that watch. It kept excellent time. And anyway, I was in high school, and I pulled the pocket. I was standing in the hall. I think it was recess or lunchtime or something like that. And a bunch of us boys were standing out in the hall, and I pulled the pocket watch out, and I had it in my hand like this. And this mean-spirited little guy, uh, he goes and he whacks my hand. Well, the pocket watch fell on the floor, and it broke. And later, when I took the back off it and looked, I realized that what had happened was the shaft that held the balance wheel had snapped. Anyway, I'm getting into details I don't need to know. So I guess it was around 1965. We moved from this little town in northern Saskatchewan here to Winnipeg. And here in Winnipeg, there was a very well-known jeweler's store, a jewelry repair place, and it was called Silverman Jewelers. And they were well known for doing good work and what have you. So I went there. I don't think they're in existence anymore. And so I went there, and when I went in with my watch, you could see down the hall all these little booths with guys hunkered over their work, repairing watches, but what struck me was the tables weren't like this; they were up here, and everything, all the height of the table was nice and convenient for them, and I never forgot that. And I thought, if ever I want to do any kind of delicate work and have to design a table, I'm going to have it up high. So that's what I've got going on here. And I don't know how well this is going to work out. Oh, by the way, the guy that hit my hand and caused my watch to break, his name was Vince Dancy. And Vince Dancy, about a few years ago, I googled his name. I was thinking about this story, and I thought, I wonder whatever happened to him. Well, don't you know? There's his obituary. And yeah, I kind of recognized him. Yeah, that was him. Yeah, so he died. It made me feel kind of funny, because I always felt resentment, anger towards him for doing that. Anyway, yeah, that's the way it goes. People, when you get to my age, a lot of your friends, or in this case, not a friend, but an acquaintance, they've gone. Also, in that same year in school, there was a girl there in the class who I always figured was really pretty. So I googled her name. She's died too. Oh my goodness. Am I still alive? I better pinch myself here. Yeah, that hurt. Okay, let's see what we can do here. I put a little tiny bit of CA thick on the wax paper. It's probably gone hard by now, because that was quite a while ago. So let's see if we can. I'm going to try and move you in so that you can see. The light is not the best, and the angle is not the best, but we'll see what can happen here. Okay, first of all, I gotta get my ladder from where it was from yesterday. Now let's try not to move this out of the field of view here. Now it seems to me we were not going to do this. Weren't we? We were. I'm gonna try and do a dry run. If I can't get it on the first try, I'm going to do it off camera. And I think maybe I'm holding it in the wrong place. Maybe I should hold it on the side. This is just too frustrating here. If you think you're frustrated, think how I feel. I'm going to have to do this off camera. It's just not working. Okay, I basically got it. I'd like it to be a little bit, maybe a millimeter closer to you, closer out, but we're not going to be able to tell that it's maybe not exactly quite right. But a funny thing happened. While I was manipulating around with it, it pinged out of my tweezer. and it went, instead of flying off into the carpet and getting lost forever, it went the other way, and it stuck against the far wall, the bulkhead. And it actually stuck there. I'll zoom in and you can see the glue spot. Yeah, well, I got to repaint anyway, but anyway, we got it. We are now done. Step 14, finally. Well, I guess not really, because I got to touch this up, right? Okay, a moment ago I was getting myself ready here to paint with our 82, touch up all those boo-boos. I noticed Missy the dog going down the street. So I guess I better get myself in readiness here. And we'll look after this later.
Wow. We didn't sneak up on you today.
No, we saw you coming. We saw you coming.
Well, she's a sleepy puppy. For the first time in her life, I flipped the blankets off her kennel this morning at 9:30, and she didn't wake up.
Really?
She was with her chin on her paws, snoozing away.
Wonder if she's maybe a little bit under the weather.
Oh, no, she's been shorted on her sleep the past 2-3 days. An hour and a half here, an hour and a half there. I go in the back room and I put on my shoes and I sit down and the chair goes click. And she would have heard the click and got up. I went back, she was sitting there waiting for the door to open.
Well, we are getting older, aren't we, Missy? I was just talking about getting old in my video this morning, mentioning how people that I used to know in high school have died. Yeah. But we don't want to talk about that.
Getting
right,
old is a privilege, it's not a right.
Yeah, that's true.
Whenever I'm tempted to complain about it, I think of the alternatives.
Yeah, the alternative isn't too happy.
Both my brothers died. Older brothers died younger than me. So
a lot of my immediate family is gone too. There's basically just me and my brother left. Mary's gone, Mom's gone, Dad's gone, you know. I forget that I'm almost 80.
yeah, you're coming up 79 in November. She's scratching her nose. I think she has allergies.
Thank you for coming, Missy.
Uncle Ron, he's the best. I'll see you later, Ron.
You betcha.
I don't see you sooner. Goodbye.
Thank you.
The breeze out of the east feels cool.
Yeah, a little cool, yeah. Bye, Missy. Yeah, it looks nice out there, but it's a little cold. Missy the dog. Missy the dog. All right. Let's get ourselves recomposed here and get our paint mixed up and see if we can't get rid of some of this glinting. You know, I can honestly say that from the angle I'm looking at right now, the light is not reflecting off of these bad spots. So you don't really see it unless the light reflects and gives a mirror-like effect. Anyway, we'll fix this up as best we can. I'm probably going to have to use the number 19 in places on here as well. May as well, as long as I'm doing it, right? Right. Okay, I'll clean that up properly later. Okay, now I realize that I say this in almost every time I try to paint in this sort of situation, and that is that I'm going to try and hold this thing so that both you and I can both see it at the same time, equally as well. Now, if I have to choose here as to either you or me, I'm going to choose in my favor, unfortunately. All right, let's get some extra light going on here. I hope this is going to make it a little clearer. Sometimes adding extra light causes reflections and shadows in the wrong places. So we get a different pair of glasses going here. All right, now, first of all, I'm just going to try and go down here. Just try not to touch the. Okay, this is the number 82. And I just want to try and get rid of this. So I'm going to go up 2, but try not to touch the ladder itself. And I'm just going to try and cover the glinting so that it won't reflect. Now, I realize that it is reflecting right now, but that's because it's wet. Okay, now is there any other in that area? I don't see it. Okay, then we got something up here. Try and come down. Can you see that, or am I blocking it? I can kind of see it. Right there, this, I think it's more of a scratch than anything. I'm hoping that when this paint dries, it's going to blend in with what was sprayed. And then we got this is where it pinged off and stuck to the side of the. There's probably an art to doing this, and I'm obviously not doing it right, but okay. Now hopefully when that dries, and when we look at it, we're not going to really notice it as bad as we would have if we hadn't have done it. I don't know if this makes sense, but it makes sense to me. Okay. Now step 14 is done. Let's try not to break this thing now. Okay. Now, if we are smart here, we're going to take all these little mini modules that we have made over the last, month? And put them in a safe place, because I don't think we're going to be needing them in step 15 here. Step 15 is a lot like 14. We are making pieces mirror images, it looks like mirror image of what we have just done. There are some different parts that go on. Yeah. So I was wondering, where am I going to put them? And I was thinking, well, why not on top of the ship case again? Yeah. Yeah, just bear with me here. Thank you, Corey. Right now it is about 10 minutes after 11 in the morning, of course. And we are looking at the first part of step 15. There's quite a bit more further up here. But we will be dealing probably with this piece right here first, S4. I don't even have the S sprue on the table yet. In fact, I don't have any sprues on the table yet. This little part here that's marked A, seems to me we made a bunch of A's, or at least painted them. And if you remember, there was the little tiny photo etch pieces that were supposed to go on, and I concluded that I just couldn't get them. And I didn't want to spend the money for the 3D printed ones that are detailed. And please, this is not a request for somebody to send them to me. In fact, I'm reinstating, don't send me anything. I actually prefer it. I know people have in the past, and I have appreciated it, but I would actually like it better if people do not send me stuff. We've talked about that before. Okay, so we're going to need an R2. Yeah, it seems that this step 15 here is quite a bit more involved than 14 in a way. Once again, we're going to have doors, which I will cut so that they look like they're partially down or maybe all the way open, and might be kind of interesting to have one all the way open. We are going to be making parts that I believe are going to be for the side that is going to be away from us, if I'm not mistaken. There's a lot of little pieces here that we're going to have to be painting, probably the 19, so that they stand out against the 82, which is what we will be painting this again. At least we have an idea now of how this is supposed to go. But I'm going to be leaving that for tomorrow. I just lost my train of thought. Phyllis just walked by with her pail for dandelions, and just in the front yard during the dandelion thing again. We have such great neighbors, and I can't believe it. My neighbor comes over and plucks my dandelions. You know, dandelions look pretty when they're yellow. Anyway, I'm going to call it quits for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow in step 15.